Imagine a book so mysterious, so different from what we've been told, that it shakes the very roots of what we think we know. A book that was hidden, forgotten, and maybe even deliberately left out. This is the Gospel of Mary, a text that could change how we see Mary Magdalene and her role in the story of Jesus. Why was this book left out of the Bible? What secrets does it hold? And what does it tell us about a side of early Christianity that few people talk about? The Gospel of Mary isn't like the Gospels you're familiar with. It doesn't tell stories about Jesus performing miracles or retelling his famous parables. Instead, it focuses on something deeper, the soul, the struggles of life, and how to find peace. And at the center of it all is Mary Magdalene. But she's not just a follower of Jesus in this story. She's a leader, a teacher, and someone who seems to understand Jesus' message better than anyone else. Could it be that Mary Magdalene was much more important than history has shown? Could she have been one of the most powerful voices in early Christianity? The Gospel of Mary first came to light in the late 19th century when a fragment of the text was discovered in a 5th century papyrus codex in Cairo, Egypt. Later, additional fragments were found in Greek manuscripts dating back to the 3rd century. These discoveries place the likely origin of the text in the early centuries of Christianity, around the 2nd century CE. Scholars believe it was written in Greek and later translated into Coptic, the language of early Egyptian Christians. Its origin suggests that it emerged from a Christian community deeply influenced by Gnostic ideas, a spiritual movement that emphasized personal knowledge and mystical experiences over rigid doctrines. But why was this gospel left out of the mainstream Bible? The answer lies in the complex history of early Christianity. In the first few centuries after Jesus' death, many different groups had different interpretations of his teachings. Some emphasized the spiritual and mystical, like the Gospel of Mary, while others focused on establishing a unified doctrine. By the 4th century, when the Christian canon was being formalized, texts that didn't align with the emerging orthodoxy were excluded. The Gospel of Mary's Gnostic leanings and its portrayal of Mary Magdalene as a spiritual authority likely made it too controversial for inclusion. It challenged the male-dominated leadership structure of the early church and offered ideas that didn't fit the narrative the church was building. The Gospel of Mary is incomplete, with several pages missing from the manuscripts we have. These gaps leave us with tantalizing questions, but even in its fragmented state, the text offers profound insights. It discusses the journey of the soul, the importance of inner peace, and the rejection of material attachments. Mary shares these teachings with the disciples, but her authority is questioned, especially by Peter. This tension highlights the struggles within the early Christian movement over who had the right to interpret and teach Jesus' message. The story also raises important questions about gender and power. Mary's role as a leader and teacher challenges traditional views of women in the early church. Her voice, though doubted by some, is shown to carry wisdom and authority. This portrayal suggests that Mary Magdalene's role in Jesus' ministry may have been far greater than the canonical Gospels reveal. The Gospel of Mary isn't just an old text. It's a doorway into a forgotten world, a world where spiritual ideas were debated, and where one woman's voice stood out against the odds. It makes us question what we've been taught and invites us to explore deeper truths about faith, the soul, and what it means to truly understand. So, let's dive into this incredible book and uncover the secrets of the Gospel of Mary chapter-wise. Chapters 1 to 3, Jesus teaches about matter and sin, then leaves. The Gospel of Mary begins in the midst of a conversation between Jesus and his disciples. This fragmented start immediately sets a mysterious tone, as we are left to wonder what teachings may have come before. Jesus is addressing profound questions about the nature of matter and sin. He explains that sin is not something inherent to human nature but is instead a construct born from disobedience and misunderstanding. Jesus emphasizes that sin exists only because people act contrary to their spiritual nature. This teaching challenges the traditional view of sin as a fundamental flaw and instead portrays it as a barrier that can be overcome through understanding and spiritual growth. Jesus' words focus on freeing the soul from the material world. He encourages the disciples to look beyond physical desires and attachments, suggesting that true liberation comes from understanding one's divine essence. After delivering this message, Jesus leaves the disciples, entrusting them with the task of carrying forward his teachings. His departure marks a pivotal moment, as it shifts the focus to the disciples and their struggles to grasp and apply his teachings without his physical presence. Chapters 4 to 5, missing, but likely more teachings or discussions. Unfortunately, the next 2 chapters of the Gospel of Mary are missing, leaving a gap in the narrative. Scholars speculate that these lost pages might have contained further teachings from Jesus or discussions among the disciples about the meaning of his words. These missing sections add to the intrigue of the text, as they leave readers to imagine what vital lessons or debates may have been lost to history. Despite this gap, the remaining chapters continue to offer rich insights into the spiritual journey and the challenges faced by the early Christian community. Chapters 6 to 9, Mary shares her vision, the soul's journey. In these chapters, Mary Magdalene steps forward as a central figure. The disciples, struggling to understand Jesus' teachings, turn to Mary for guidance. She recounts a vision she had of Jesus, in which he revealed the journey of the soul after death. This vision is deeply symbolic and describes the soul's ascent through various stages, or realms, each presenting challenges that the soul must overcome. The journey begins with the soul confronting forces that seek to bind it to the material world. These forces represent ignorance, fear, and attachment. Mary's vision portrays the soul as triumphant, overcoming these obstacles through knowledge and spiritual strength. The ultimate goal is for the soul to reunite with its divine source, free from the constraints of the physical world. Mary's recounting of this vision underscores her deep spiritual understanding and her role as a leader among the disciples. Her teachings reflect themes common in Gnostic thought, emphasizing personal enlightenment and the transcendence of earthly limitations. Chapters 10 to 19, Disciples react, Peter doubts, Levi supports Mary. The final chapters of the Gospel of Mary delve into the dynamics among the disciples. After hearing Mary's vision, the disciples react with a mix of awe and uncertainty. While some are inspired by her words, others, particularly Peter, express doubt. Peter questions Mary's authority and whether Jesus would have entrusted such profound teachings to a woman. This moment highlights the tension between Mary and the male disciples, reflecting broader debates about gender and leadership in the early church. Levi, another disciple, comes to Mary's defense. He rebukes Peter, emphasizing that Jesus valued Mary and trusted her with these teachings. Levi's support underscores the idea that spiritual authority is not determined by gender but by one's understanding and faith. This conflict serves as a microcosm of the struggles within early Christianity, as different factions vied for influence and sought to define the faith's direction. The Gospel of Mary ends abruptly, leaving readers with unresolved questions about what happens next. This open-ended conclusion mirrors the text's broader themes of mystery and exploration, inviting readers to reflect on their own spiritual journeys. Despite its fragmented state, the Gospel of Mary offers a powerful message about the nature of the soul, the importance of inner knowledge, and the courage to challenge established norms in the pursuit of truth. Let's talk about the themes of this book now. Starting with Mary's leadership role in early Christianity. One of the central themes of the Gospel of Mary is Mary Magdalene's unique and powerful role as a spiritual leader among the disciples. In this text, Mary is not merely a passive follower of Jesus, she is portrayed as someone who deeply understands his teachings and is entrusted with passing them on. Her leadership is evident in the way she comforts and guides the other disciples after Jesus' departure. When they are filled with doubt and fear, it is Mary who steps forward with courage and wisdom, reminding them of the strength and knowledge they possess. Mary's leadership is further emphasized through her intimate connection with Jesus. In the Gospel of Mary, she shares insights and teachings that Jesus gave to her privately, signifying a special trust and bond. This unique relationship sets her apart from the other disciples and positions her as a key figure in understanding Jesus' message. However, her leadership is not without challenges. Some of the male disciples, particularly Peter, question her authority and doubt the validity of her teachings. This conflict highlights the tensions within the early Christian movement regarding gender roles and spiritual authority. Despite the opposition, Mary remains steadfast, demonstrating both her resilience and the importance of her role in preserving and interpreting Jesus' teachings. The soul's spiritual journey. Another major theme of the Gospel of Mary is the journey of the soul. The text offers a profound exploration of the soul's path to liberation, emphasizing the need to overcome fear, ignorance, and attachment to the material world. This theme reflects the Gnostic influence on the text, with its focus on inner knowledge and spiritual enlightenment. In the Gospel, Mary recounts a vision in which the soul ascends through various stages or realms, each presenting challenges that must be overcome. These stages are often interpreted as symbolic representations of the obstacles that individuals face on their spiritual journey. The soul's ultimate goal is to reach a state of peace and unity with the divine, free from the constraints of the physical world. This emphasis on the soul's journey provides a stark contrast to the more orthodox Christian focus on external rituals and doctrines. Instead of relying on institutional authority, the Gospel of Mary encourages individuals to seek knowledge and truth within themselves. This message of personal empowerment and spiritual growth resonates deeply, offering an alternative perspective on the teachings of Jesus and the purpose of human existence. An explanation of different early Christian beliefs. The Gospel of Mary reveals the diversity of beliefs and practices within early Christianity. Far from being a unified movement, early Christianity was a tapestry of different interpretations, debates, and spiritual traditions. The Gospel of Mary, with its Gnostic themes and emphasis on inner knowledge, represents one of these alternative viewpoints. It challenges the notion that there was a single, definitive understanding of Jesus' teachings. By presenting Mary Magdalene as a spiritual leader and emphasizing the soul's journey, the text offers a vision of Christianity that is more inclusive and mystical than the institutionalized version that emerged later. This diversity of beliefs underscores the richness and complexity of early Christian thought and invites us to reconsider the origins of the faith. It also highlights the role of power and politics in shaping the canon, as texts like the Gospel of Mary were excluded in favor of those that aligned with the emerging orthodoxy. Its rediscovery changes our view of history. The rediscovery of the Gospel of Mary has profound implications for our understanding of history. It challenges long-held assumptions about the role of women in early Christianity and the nature of Jesus' teachings. By presenting Mary Magdalene as a central figure, the text invites us to question traditional narratives that have marginalized her contributions. Moreover, the Gospel's emphasis on personal spiritual growth and inner knowledge offers a counterpoint to the hierarchical and doctrinal focus of mainstream Christianity. This rediscovery encourages us to explore alternative perspectives on faith and spirituality, enriching our understanding of the diverse ways in which people have sought to connect with the divine. To conclude, we can say that the Gospel of Mary is more than just a historical artifact. it is a powerful reminder of the diversity and depth of early Christian thought. Its portrayal of Mary Magdalene as a leader and teacher challenges traditional gender roles and invites us to see her in a new light. The themes of the soul's spiritual journey and the emphasis on inner knowledge offer a fresh perspective on the teachings of Jesus, encouraging us to seek truth and enlightenment within ourselves. The exclusion of the Gospel of Mary from the Bible reflects the complex interplay of power, politics, and theology in the early Church. By rediscovering and studying this text, we gain a deeper understanding of the struggles and debates that shaped Christianity. It reminds us that history is often written by the victors, and that voices like Mary Magdalene's, though silenced, still have much to teach us. In the end, the Gospel of Mary invites us to question, to explore, and to reflect on the nature of faith and the human spirit. It is a text that continues to resonate, offering insights and inspiration for those willing to listen. As we conclude this exploration, let us carry forward the lessons of the Gospel of Mary, embracing its message of courage, wisdom, and the transformative power of inner truth. Subscribe now to Book Therapy for deep insight into more of such books.